Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So before starting our lesson today, I just want to remind you, I just want to have a quick revision. We had conditional statements. The first one was open conditional. The second one, the second type of conditional statements is first conditional. That is Unit 8, Lesson 2, page 73. Okay. We start. Okay. So conditional statements, to remind you again, the structure of conditional sentences as it is clear there in the screen, on the screen. A conditional sentence is composed of two parts, means it consists of two parts. The first part, we call it if clause, and the second part that follows the first one, in this case, we call it main clause. Do you remember this part?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the structure. We have two sentences. We try to connect these two sentences together. And the first one is if clause, the second one is main clause or result clause. Look at that example. If it rains tomorrow, we will not come. See that? Look at the example. We have if it rains tomorrow. This is a sentence, and the second sentence after the comma is main clause, we will not come. If you look at any one of them, they can be two different sentences, but we have connected, we have joined them together by using if. That is why we can say this is if clause and this is main clause. If it rains tomorrow, this is the condition. So what will happen if it rains tomorrow? We will not come. We will make a comparison between this kind of conditional statement and the previous one, which was open conditional statement or zero conditional statement. Okay, conditional sentences. Let me come to the types. The order of the two clauses is flexible, means that we can change them. It is not that important. But if the if clause comes fast, that is important. In this case, we have if clause at the beginning, comes fast. It must be followed by a comma. This is just a revision for you, because in my previous lesson, I mentioned that we have to connect these two sentences by using a comma. But it is not always important to have if clause at the beginning, then result or main clause after the first sentence. It is not always like that. We can change the situation of these two sentences, but if I change it, for example, if I start like, I will stay at home, if it rains, we have to remove the comma, okay? That is only a revision. This is also true for a first conditional statement, as it was true for open conditional statement. Okay, about the types. Here we have 4 types of conditional sentences. We really have more than 4 types, but I don't want to go very deep. I just want to tell you that here we have 4 types of conditional sentences. We will take the other types of conditional sentence next year and the year after next year. And this subject is important because it's going to be repeated next year and the year after next year. They are classified according to the degrees or the degree of probability that they express. How can we classify, or how can we divide the types of conditional sentences? It depends on the degree of probability, the rate of happening. Each type of conditional sentences uses different tenses. Okay, so when it comes to grammar, when it comes to the tenses, we have to be careful what kind of or which kind of tense do we use in different conditional sentences to show the difference in the degree of probability. So the tense shows the type of conditional statement and the degree of probability. So now you should be clear with the types of conditional sentences or statements and how do we classify or divide the types. It depends on the degree of probability, whether it happens or not, or how much is the rate of probability. Are we sure that it is always happening, it always happens or not? So it depends on the probability. Then we can guess the type of the conditional statement. Did you get the types of conditional statement?
Yes.
Okay, and you have to keep in your mind that we classify them according to the degree of probability. We come to examples, then it's going to be more clear for you. It's going to be clear for you. So the tense of first conditionals, you know that we have two sentences, if clause and main clause. If clause should be present tense, means that is present simple. Here, that is first conditional. Look at that, that is present tense. And the main clause is future tense. And we will come to the kind of future that we use them. That is will. We are not supposed to use would, should, could, any one of them. It's going to be the second conditional statement that we will have it in the next lesson. Look at these two examples here. If I feel sick tomorrow, look at that, it is blue. If I feel sick tomorrow, comma, I will not go to school. Okay, let me explain this example for you. Okay, that is the first sentence, if clause sentence. The tense of this sentence is, who can tell me? What is the tense of this sentence?
Present tense.
Present tense.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of present?
Present simple.
Present simple.
Present simple.
Yeah, exactly. Excellent. Because we have subject and the main verb. We don't have verb to be here and ing adding to the verb. If you look at the present tense, it's going to be clear that this tense is present simple. So the first tense or if clause tense must be present simple. After that we have comma, then we start the second or result clause. Here we have future, but what kind of future is that? It's simple future. Okay, because after will we have, of course, negative form. I will not, it's just like I want. We have base, that is important. After will, we should have base form. Then it is complement. So I will not go to school. This is not general. This is not a scientific truth. This condition is completely different from open conditional statement. Okay, sentence, if it's rains, so maybe it is only for tomorrow, it's only for the next match. If it rains, the match will be cancelled. Okay, look at this. And what this is a present simple tense. That is subject. It is subject, and rain has taken an S because it is a singular. The match next sentence will be cancelled. That is B. It is in the base form. Why we have ed with cancel? Because it is passive voice. It is different. The match will be cancelled, or you can say we will cancel the match. It is the same. What is important here? After will, we always have the verb in the form of base. What is base? Base is Okay, what is base? You know that base is present. It doesn't have any ed, ing, suffixes, prefixes, anything. Okay, that is according to the second sentence. This is future simple. That is why we say this is future tense. So is it different from the previous one or not? Yes, it is different. How it is different?
Yes.
How?
Because it has future tense.
Yes.
Because it has future tense.
Yes. In open conditional statement, we didn't have future tense. Both of the sentence were present simple, but here it is different. The first one is present simple, but the second one should be future simple.
Future tense.
Okay, so so far so good.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So let's come to the next slide. Yes. Then the uses of past conditionals. This is important. That is about grammar. That is about structure. We mentioned these two slides. Let's come to usage, or how do we use, or when do we use past conditional statement? The first point is that to speak about possible or probable future events. So that event may happen. It is possible. It is not something impossible. It is possible. For example, if it rains, we will not go out. We will not go shopping. So it is possible. When you look at the situation, when you look at weather, so it is possible you think that there is a probability for raining. That is why to speak about possible or probable future events. If the weather is as sunny tomorrow as it was today, so you have something, you have a reference. Why do you say, for example, if the weather is as sunny tomorrow as it was today? Because you already have a background of information. You know that, for example, today was sunny, so you say, if the weather is as sunny tomorrow as it was today, we will go surfing. So there is a probability, but it is not 100% sure. We cannot say that like the previous one. If the weather is okay, we always go surfing. It is different from that. This is for a particular situation. It's not general. That is the first usage, the first point. The second point is to make promises or warnings. When you want to promise someone or when you warn someone, you are use first conditional statement. For example, if you forget my birthday, this is present simple. So this is the condition. This is if clause, comma, okay? I will never speak to you again. This is a kind of warning, right? So when does he stop talking to, for example, his friend? When he forgets his birthday. So there is a condition. That is the condition. And this is a kind of warning, means that avoid forgetting my birthday. You have to keep it in your mind. That is why this situation is good for first conditional statement, not for open conditional statement. So this is warning. And even you can use this form to give promises. Okay, to give commands means to give order when you ask something like this example. If you are tired, go to bed. Okay, these forms of sentence are always starting with the verb, and it is always in the base form. You are not saying, for example, if you are tired, go into bed. No, it should be in the base form, and this is command. This is an order. He asks you to go to bed. In what condition? If, for example, I'm tired, if he is tired. In this case, the verb in the main clause, that is main clause, not this one, that is if clause and that is main clause, is an imperative. Imperative means order, to ask something. In Kurdish, we call it dakhwazi, amr. When we ask someone to do something that is imperative. And
Teacher,
yes,
can I ask a question?
yeah, go ahead, please.
Like if you say, if you don't work, I'll fire you. Does that involve to give commands or it's wrong?
This is warning,
Yeah.
right? This is a kind of warning.
Okay.
So it's going to be under the second point, promises or
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Going ahead to the next slide. This slide shows a kind of comparison between zero conditional statement and first conditional statement. Okay, I want you to have a deep look at the slide and make a comparison, and let me help you for that. Okay, condition or result. In those two conditional statements, we have condition and result. Okay, that is the first part is condition. The second part is result. Here, if you stand in the rain, you get wet. You get wet. That is condition, that is result. If you heat ice, it melts. We mentioned these examples previously. Look at the tense. That is present simple, that is present simple. Both of them are present simple. Uses. Facts which are generally true or scientific facts. The condition always has the same result. Okay, these results are the same as a result. And this is the condition, that is the result. And it is always like that. It is generally true, or it can be a scientific truth. No one can deny this. It's not only for a particular situation or for a special situation only for me. Okay, that was about zero conditional. First conditional that I'm explaining to you today is the same example. If it rains, okay, we will cancel the trip. Look at that. This is present simple, but this is different. This is future simple. And you know what's the form of future simple? You have subject, will, then base. The verb should be in the base form. If you study, you will pass the exam. Again, that is present simple, that is future simple. And this is not a scientific truth. And this is not a case like the previous one. If you study that particular situation for you, for example, you will get, for example, high marks. You'll pass the exam. That is present simple, and that is will, or in the negative form, it's going to be won't. Was there? If we try to show a negative form of present simple, you know that we have to use don't or doesn't. It depends on the subject. Or if we have a verb to be is are, we simply add not to the verb to be. We already mentioned present simple more than 10 times. Okay, uses. A possible situation in the future. There is a possible situation in the future, but it is not 100% sure. That is why I'm saying it is predicting a likely result in the future. It is what? It is predicting a likely result in the future. If the condition happens, of course. If the condition doesn't happen, for example, if you don't study, you will not pass the exam. You will not get high marks. If it doesn't rain, we will not cancel the trip. So if the condition happens, then we can say predicting a likely result in the future. The meaning of predict, you know that to tell something before it happens, to tell something according to your own information before it happens, before it takes place. let's go ahead with the next slide if you don't have question with that. This is exercise 1. Before starting the exercises, if you have any questions, if you are not sure about any point, please let me know. Then we will go ahead with the exercises. I think it's clear enough for you. And if you are not sure about any point, please go ahead. Here I am to answer you. That is exercise 1, first conditionals. That is number 1. If you, in 2 brackets, not come, the second sentence after the comma, you will, okay, that is dash, you dash, in 2 brackets, miss the show. That is the first sentence. If you do not come, you will miss the show. Because here we have negative form, and that is present simple. With you, you know that we use do not, or don't come, that is base form. You, we should use will, because this must be future simple. Miss the show. The second one, John will buy a car if he. Look at that example. If is not in the beginning of the sentence. That is why we don't have comma. That is one. The second point is when if is not at the beginning of the clause, we should have future simple first, then after if we have present simple tense. John will buy a car if he must be with S, because the subject is he. If he gets a job, that is the condition. Mary will get a toothache. That is the same case, because if has not come at the beginning, it is in the middle. Look at that. Mary, so future simple should come first. Mary will get a toothache if she eats, that is present simple, too much sweets. Okay. Complete the sentences below by making first conditional statements. Use your own imagination. So we have 10 examples here. I have answered the first and the second example for you as a sample. Then you can go ahead with the others by yourself, because use your own imagination means use your own information. It depends on the student. You can have a different answer for this one or for this one, but it must be in a correct form, grammatically correct. Okay, so you can answer any one of them. I'm going to give you a little bit of time. Then you can go ahead with them after the lesson. This is a kind of homework. Try to answer some of them right now. Then you can go ahead after my class by yourself. Okay, so let me continue with the next slide. Yeah, they were 15 examples, not 10. Then we have this form. Complete the conditional sentence in 2 brackets type 1, means first conditional, by putting the verbs into the correct form. The first one has been answered for you, has been filled for you as a sample. You can go ahead with the second one. If you present simple, if you sent, we are not going to make any change with the verb. The second sentence should be in future simple. That is why we have to add will before the base. If I, into brackets, do this test, I improve, into brackets, dash my English. I find your ring, I give it back to you. That is Peggy. That is a name. Go shopping. That is a name. If she have time in the afternoon, you have to change the verbs according to the situation if it is necessary. Seaman is another name. Go. So you can answer 2 or 3 examples, then you can answer them by yourself when I send them to you. Okay, I try to post this online class on our page on Facebook. More examples. You will find the book. You will look for it. Use if. If he looks for the book, he will find it. The second one, he will find the book if he looks for it. That is another form of the same question. Both of them can be correct. What is different here? It is only the position of the if clause. From the first example, it has been come at the beginning. And the second example has come at the middle of the whole example. The second one, he will catch a cold, he will go swimming. Use if. There is a condition, so try to identify the condition or event 1 or cause, then effect. What's the cause? What's the event 1? What's the condition? He will catch a cold if he goes swimming. So that is the condition. That is why it is if clause, if he goes swimming. The ship will be cheap. I want you to participate if you can hear my voice. I buy it. If the ship is cheap, I will or I may buy it. So that is what, okay, to explain this example for you, we have two sentences, sorry. The ship will be cheap, that is the first one. The second one is I buy it. There are two different, there are two different sentences. We try to use if so that we can connect them together. Okay, if the shirt is cheap, why did we change will to is? Because this is if clause, and the form of if clause is present simple. So for present simple, we don't have will. We should have, for example, is are, because this is a singular subject. I have to use is. And why did we use is? Why? Because we don't have a verb form. We have an adjective. Cheap is an adjective. So in this case, we should use the verb to be for present simple. And the second sentence is the result clause. I will, that is the result. I plus will, then verb. Any one of them is correct. I will buy it. So this shows more probability. That is not completely sure when you say I may buy it. But when you say I will buy it, so You definitely buy it. I'm ready to help you if you ask me. Use if as first conditional. There is if and it asks you to use if again. These examples are a little bit sensitive. I will be ready to help you if you ask me. Because I already said that as first conditional. So you have to make some changes there. As the population, this is a multiple choice form. That is option. We have options here. Which option is correct? You can decide by yourself according to the tense of the sentences. Of the population dash will be face. So this as has taken the position of if. We can say if the population dash. Why we have started with will? Because this is a question form. This is an interrogative form. We face a food crisis. Okay, this is a kind of example for you. Let's come to this one. When the water dash salty, famine will disappear. You can, when the water, that is, as I told you, when can takes place of if. You can say, for example, turn is turning will turn. Which one is correct? Here, this one is, because this is a singular one. To show you more examples, we have this one. The suit will not be cheap. I won't buy it. Try to write the answer for these sentences. Yeah. Yes. She won't neglect her studies. She will get full marks. If, use if, homework. That is homework, means you can do it by yourself. That is the answer for the first example in this slide, number 7. The soup will not be cheap. I won't buy it. 9. If, okay, we have, he will not have enough money. If he doesn't have enough money, he won't or he can't start his journey. 10. Okay, sorry, before that. This is another example that is homework. And that is another exact form, which is a ministerial form. 2017, 2018, that is first term. After Ivan dash reading, she dash all the lights. Okay, if I come to this example, even though it belongs to 12th grade, but you can answer them 100%. I am quite sure about that because you are clever and it is in your grammar subject. Okay, after Ivan had finishing, okay, if I suppose or if I consider option A is correct, so after had we should have PP, but that is ing. So don't think about A. Again, after had, if it is past perfect, we can have verb ing after had. So in this case, A should be cancelled. Let me come to B. If Eva finished reading, she had put out the lights. Put out means to switch off. Okay, so after we come to the expressions, it is another subject when it comes to 12th grade. After after, what does that mean? When we use after, the tense should be past perfect, not past simple. Then the second one should be past simple. That is why you can change these two positions, then it's going to be correct. Okay, so C finishes, will put out. Okay, so after Ivan finishes reading, she will put out all the lights.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that?
Can you listen my voice? Can you hear my voice, sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, so far, I think, do you have any questions? Because I think we were unmute. Okay, maybe there is a technical problem. I can't hear you.
We can hear you, teacher. We can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you. Just no one talks.
Okay, so do you have any questions so far?
No?
No. Everything's clear.
Okay, I hope so. Okay, so did you get my points here?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this answer looks good, but don't just decide before reading the last option. You have to read the last option, then you can decide your final decision. D is finish it, then puts out. Had finished is correct if it is past perfect. But after past perfect, we can have present simple. And this is present simple because of this S. You can say she puts out. So that is not past. If put is past, it shouldn't be with S. So this one must be cancelled again. The only correct answer is option C. And it follows, it obeys the grammatical structure. Because I'm saying, for example, if Ivan, if I change after to if, it's going to be if Ivan, okay, finishes reading, that is cause, that is event one, what will happen? That is the condition. She will put out, that is future simple. She will put out all the lights. Put out is a phrasal verb, means is to switch off. I hope this is clear for you. I think we are at the end of the lesson. Before getting to end, we have these two homework examples for you. They are option form. I wish I let her know when I see her. We have will, do, make, get.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Well,
A.
No,
well, A.
yes. Why? When is just like if, and
So the second part is the condition. So the first part is the results.
that is the result. And the result clause should be in the future simple. We have will plus verb base. This photo,
A.
sorry,
Here.
yeah, they will be
Here.
very
It's
happy
A.
when
Yes, that's A.
They hear the news.
they dash the news.
When they hear the news.
Okay, that is
Here is the news.
A. In present simple. Hear the news. Not will hear, not the, not has plus pp. That is answer A. When they hear the news. The news. Okay. So is it clear of this conditional statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No questions?
No. No.
Okay. That is the end of my lesson.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
If you are not, if you are not or you can send your questions to me if they are very much. I will arrange an online class again to answer your comments. Thank you for your paying attention. I hope we have class inside our classroom at the Rangin High School. Thank you very much.
Thank you to teacher.
Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Bye.